Hey guys, there are some recent bombshell updates in the case of Jackson Cradle out of Illinois. I'm going to give some background information regarding his death, and I'm also going to tell you about these updates. He, along with his family and friends, deserves justice, and it is seriously past time. This, in my opinion, is a story of a young man who tragically lost his life due to negligence of people in the area who had connections, if you know what I mean. Listen to this story. So 18-year-old Jackson Cradle's body was found along Illinois Route 78, which is north of Mount Carroll. This was on July 28th of last year, so about 6 or 7 months ago. The circumstances surrounding his death continue to unfold and come out. On Tuesday, January 14th, the court reportedly looked at evidence and other materials that were all related to the investigation into Jackson's death. Then on Thursday, January 16th, the jury reportedly visited the scene of the crash or where he was found deceased. So reportedly a forensic pathologist named Jackson's cause of death to be blunt force trauma to the head due to a vehicle and pedestrian crash. The focus of court last week was to try and determine the manner of death, like was it suicide or homicide or what was it? But a jury decided last week that his death was indeed a homicide. Now, for now, no suspects have been named or arrested, but police are really looking hard at two people. Those two people are the off-duty sheriff's employees who reportedly found Jackson, and they called the non-emergency line to report they found his body at around 3:30 a.m. on July 28th. So these two people are Matt Herbstreith, I hope I pronounced that correctly. He is reportedly a former sheriff's deputy. And the other is Amy Hubble, who's pictured here on the right, and she is a former dispatcher with the county. They were questioned in court last week, but however, it was said that both of them declined to answer any questions about the incident or what led up to it. Both of them had their lawyers. They just kept continuing to plead the fifth. Now, keep in mind, despite all this evidence, neither one of them have been named as a suspect, nor have they been charged, and it's absurd. Once you hear all the evidence, you'll see what I mean. There's a ton of evidence pointing to them possibly being involved in Jackson's death. Reportedly, conversations between the two of them and the Illinois State Police revealed a good bit in court last week. It was said that hours of recordings were played in court last week that showed both of these two people pictured here thought that Matt had swerved in time to miss Jackson. Now, reportedly, Matt was driving. He did admit that he had been drinking, but he claimed he was sober when they, quote, found Jackson. Then, in a second interview, Matt reportedly said he could not be sure if he missed a body. Matt, you know if you hit a body. Last week in court, there was also reportedly a video shown of a truck at Savannah Car Wash. And this was about 30 minutes after the two of them supposedly found Jackson's body. Now, Matt reportedly refused to say whether or not it was him in that video at the car wash. But he previously did tell police he had been at that car wash. Now, why in the hell would you go to a car wash at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? Was it because you hit someone and wanted to wash away the evidence, Matt? Then last week on Tuesday, the results of the autopsy were presented in court. They revealed that Jackson was lying face down when he was hit by the vehicle, which led to horrible injuries on both sides of his head and his back and his right shoulder. It was said he was only wearing swim trunks when he was found, and the autopsy indicated that he was dragged after he was hit. Now listen to this. Human DNA, hair, and swimming trunk fibers were all found up underneath Matt's truck. It was said in court last week by a forensic investigator that there was indeed a significant amount of human DNA that was identified as whose, you ask? Jackson's, found up underneath Matt's truck. Now, reportedly, the autopsy also revealed that Jackson's blood alcohol level at the time of his death was 0.192. And it was also said that THC was present in his system. It was said that those two things could have affected his balance and explained why he was lying down in the roadway when he was hit by a vehicle. Now, his girlfriend also testified in court last week, and she gave some insight about what had happened that night and when he was last seen. It was said at around 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 27th, local first responders and others in the area were at a place called Copper Cow in Mount Carroll. This was for a retirement party, and reportedly Jackson and his girlfriend Madeline Stevens went to that party. Then it was said after that party they went to a gathering at Jackson's family farm, and there he was drinking alcohol. Next, Jackson and his girlfriend Madeline were dropped off at his father's house, but it was said he got agitated about something and he left there and he was on foot. Unfortunately, that was the last time he was ever seen again. Reports also indicate that Jackson took his last breath after Matt and Amy found him. It was also said they were at that same retirement party. They reportedly ended up resigning before an internal investigation could be done. So now the Illinois State Police has finished up their investigation, and it's now in the hands of the Illinois State Appellate Prosecutor's Office, and hopefully they will get something done with this. His family and friends are now demanding answers and justice for Jackson and for the right people to be charged. I think I know who needs to be charged. How about you? The evidence is overwhelming and nothing has been done yet. Is it because they have connections? I think we all know what happened here. In my opinion, these two need to be charged and quickly. My heart and prayers go out to all of Jackson's loved ones, and I pray that justice is served very soon. For more true crime, because that's what this is, true crime, be sure to hit that follow button, and if you're over on YouTube, be sure to subscribe.